welcome, Simon and Christine. Thank you very much for joining me today. These guys are from a club called Phoenix Martial Arts, but they actually have a Phoenix Dance School as well. So a very large organisation based up in all around Leeds, Nottingham, Castleford areas, all around there. Started off just as you two, as franchisees, I believe, and then have just expanded to become this club that now has thousands of students, would you believe it, across seven,
West
eight,
Yorkshire.
West Yorkshire, and around that area. Um, Last year they grew by, well, actually, let me put this into perspective. The industry as a whole, as we know it, grew by around 4% last year, 4 to 5%. Their organization grew by 18%, and that was just the martial arts side. So I want you to know that when I'm asking these guys questions, that you need to listen to them because what they're saying is working and their business has. And again, we're talking about thousands of students, not just a small club going from a slightly bigger club. This is a big club going to an even bigger club. So they have their systems very much set in stone, and they have franchisees. They have their systems set in stone for their franchisees as well. So everyone's following the same process and it's working. Um, what else do I need to tell you? They have an average attrition rate. Okay, so here we go. Guys, do you know what the average attrition rate is across the industry?
I'm gonna guess about 5.5,
Yeah,
6%
five,
roughly.
six.
It is, you're spot on. Um, their attrition rate is about 3.5%. So again, when you're looking at clubs with this many students, having an attrition rate that is that low, it really is incredible. So again, let's keep ears open. The format of today is going to be an interview. So I'm going to be asking questions of Simon and Christine, questions that I hope are questions that you would like to ask them. We're going to try and draw as much information out as we can. I'm going to grill them for you basically and try and get all their trade secrets so they can share them with you online. So is there anything else you guys want to add to that? Anything about your business?
Now there's a lot of pressure there for us. I hope we can just deliver some value for people. And if we can give some value and somebody can get some top tips, and that's great.
We just need one. That's what we always
Yeah.
say. Whenever we do anything, if we can just take one thing away, then it's been worth your time to listen.
And then the only caveat I'd put on that is obviously, yes, we've spent the best part of 15 years developing these systems now, and it's not something that happens overnight. So yeah, take some ideas away today, but don't assume they're going to work tomorrow or the next day or next week. It takes time to develop, implement, tweak them to suit your needs and your business and get your staff on board as well. So just take the time and just have faith in the process.
Yeah, I love that. It's very, very good advice. Perfect. Okay, so let's kick off, guys. I want to start with how you take a lead to become a strong prospect and eventually to sign up. So we're going to work our way through that journey because I know this is something you guys are extremely strong at. And again, just to give you guys a bit of perspective as to why these guys are going and how I know that, it's because I have all of their data and I know that these guys go from lead to intro. So that's of all the people that inquire about their lessons, about their services, 70% of those book onto an intro. Of those people that have booked onto an intro, 75% of them turn up to that intro lesson. So again, to put that into perspective, what I've seen from people who are using our systems and from talking to clients, the average intro lead to intro is actually around 35 to 40%. So these guys are more than doubling what the industry average is. So very important. And then of the people that come to an intro, 73% of them actually sign up and join the club. Compared to the industry you're looking at about 45 to 50%. So you're way ahead of the game, and let's try and find out why. So listen, to start off with,
You know.
I'm going to be specific about the questions. When an inquiry comes in, so however you collect that data, whether it's Facebook, contact, or however that inquiry comes in, what happens in that first 24 hours?
So we actually go for 48 hours because I'm very big on, I don't want to under deliver. So over promise, under deliver. So we've always worked on, we want to be realistic. So we do a lot of lead form ads on Facebook. And for me, 24 hours I know that I'm not going to have got that lead pulled off Facebook, moved over, given to the staff member for them to then contact. I just don't think it's realistic. So we work in that 48 hours. So obviously when they go through the lead form on Facebook, it does tell them, like, thanks, you're all set. And I'll put in the notes there as well. A member of our team will be in touch within 48 hours. So we're already setting that realistic, don't think we're going to be coming back to you within an hour, because we're busy, we're like,
Yeah.
and I don't want, our staff are brilliant and do work on their days off sometimes if they see a lead come through, but I don't want to be putting more on them than what I need to do. I also will ask them, not all the time, but I've found this works pretty well. How would you like to be contacted? Do you want email, phone call, or WhatsApp? So then you do get the people that are a bit more, oh, phone call, absolutely not. I'll email you and say, oh, I've inquired through your lead form. So then that will get picked up quicker. I also will add on it, if you are an action taker and don't want to wait, here's the link to our website, book yourself straight in for a lesson. So we give them the power there to control as well how they put themselves in.
And we have tried this multiple times. Like we've tried
Yeah.
Zapier, we've tried obviously calling them immediately, etc. And this does for us yield the better results. Like Zapier used to send them a text message immediately as soon as they inquired, saying we'll be in touch with you soon. And I think because they had an immediate contact, then a bit of a wait, it kind of put them off a little bit. So for our area, for us, this does work better having that expectation.
We've even tried quite aggressive sort of marketing, haven't we? Where they were just literally getting messages and then they'd get emails and it was just like bam, bam, bam. But then we found we got quite a lot of people going, like, leave us alone.
Yeah.
Like, it's just too much.
Invasive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the lead comes in and they immediately get something saying we'll be in touch with you in 48 hours. And then within 48 hours, someone will then email them asking them how they want to be.
Phone call, email, or a WhatsApp. I think our lead gen lady tends to WhatsApp them all straight away when she's working through the list, because sometimes we will get 50 inquiries, especially for the dance school. We get a lot of inquiries for the dance school.
Yeah.
So she's looking and she's like, oh, it's been 2 days and I've got 50 leads I've got to contact. She'll just WhatsApp them all straight away.
Got you.
It's a quite simple copy and paste message that she'll send to start off with.
Yeah.
And go from there. And then we'll work on, if it's an email inquiry, she will email them back straight away. And unless they've told us specifically they want a phone call, she'll start with the WhatsApps first.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So that original email that goes to them saying we'll be in touch with you in 48, is that the one that asks how they want to be contacted?
Yeah.
Brilliant. And do many people respond to that?
Don't get loads. You just get probably off each ad. You might get 1 or 2 that say, oh, yes, email would be great. But I think people just like choice.
Yeah.
Instead of you telling them, oh, we are going to ring you. And then we know people don't like answering the phones anymore.
No.
I occasionally answer the phones, and I think even I avoid it sometimes, but
Yeah.
I know our children are in their 20s. They don't answer the phone. It's
No.
Snapchat, text message.
It's amazing how many people we found that will fill out these forms when they're at work and shouldn't be filling out these forms, scrolling through Facebook. So they won't want to answer the phone because they know their boss is around the corner, might walk in on a phone call. So they'd rather do it over a message sometimes as well. Yeah, there's multiple reasons.
And we're hitting, like, for us in our area, and again, we've tested this on our ads, it's mums. When we're doing kids ads, it's the mums that are inquiring. When my kids are little, I didn't have time to be on the phone for 20 minutes, like sorting out in the middle of the day. So messages, WhatsApp is great because they can reply when they've got that second, oh yeah, I'll reply, and then they will leave it, and then you'll get somebody reply to you the next day or 30 minutes later or that night. So I think WhatsApp is a really good one to use.
And there must be quite a high level of engagement, because for you to convert 70% of them to actually come to an intro, they must be responding to those WhatsApp messages.
Not always straight away, but we hound them. And we don't hound them in a bad way, but and this took a little while to sort of learn. They've contacted us. We're not cold calling them. We're not just going out to random people and going, oh, do you want to do martial arts? They've seen our product, they've seen our ads and have contacted us. And have given us information, because again, on the ads, I always have a few questions as well. It might just be asking, is it for how old is their child? What area do they live in? Why do they want them to start? So they've given us this information. So if we don't get a response, we will send them another message, or we will then ring them, or we will email them. We'll send voice notes. We've even just recently sent out a video recording of the instructors saying, and it's a bit like, you have inquired. Why are you leaving this? Why are you not coming back to us? In a nice way.
Yeah.
All you need to do is just reply yes, and we'll get you booked in.
Yeah.
And for the ladies from our Cleckheaton location, we've had quite a good response from that.
Okay.
The biggest mistakes that we used to make and we've seen people make is not being consistent in that follow-up afterwards, is just assuming that these people will contact us when they have the time to do it, or just they'll get in touch with us later on, they're fine, they'll reach us back out. The consistent phone calls, the emails, the different ways of reaching out to them, it is a hounding, but it gives them the option of going, actually, you'll be amazed how many people do a voice note back rather than actually type a message out, because they can't be bothered to type a message, or they'll email because it's just easier to access on their phone rather than a laptop, etc. But yeah, not having the consistent follow-up and not doing that chase, and that's where we're good at, and that's why we get the percentage comes in, because we don't leave them alone. We just keep going,
and this
send
isn't
different ways and
every
try it
day,
out.
is it? It's not every day, but we go back to the leads. We've even had people that it's taken us 18 months from an inquiry. We've not been able to get them booked in, or they've not responded, but then because we've contacted them 18 months later, they've then booked in and then joined.
Wow.
So it is, and I think as martial artists, we get in our own head sometimes and think, oh, well, they're not interested now. No, lives are just so busy. You've just got and trialing just different tactics. We've even done where we'll send cold leads and just reply yes or no if you are still interested in coming for a free trial. So then you will get people saying no, and you get rid of those leads, so you know that you're not going to chase them anymore. But then the ones that are saying yes, it's like, right, okay, let's go, let's get you booked in.
Yeah. So when you say you hound them, and I get that, I totally get that. Is there a process for the hounding, or is it ad hoc? Do you leave it with someone who just continually goes over a mailing list, or is there a set process to, right, today we'll WhatsApp, tomorrow we'll email, the next day we...
I think that's faith in our lady who calls, and we sort of talked about the different ways of doing it, and we allow her the freedom to go, right, I'm going to try this today, I'm going to try this today, I'm going to try this today. There's no set process. As long as she works through all the different ways of doing it, and she knows she has to work through, it's not a case of email first, then WhatsApp, then there's just, today you're on your phone, send a book WhatsApp out. Today you're on a laptop, send a book emails out, and we just have the faith in the team that do that.
And then every so often, like the video we've just recently sent out, I just sent it over to her and said, please send this out to the cold leads from last year. And she was like, okay. And then she just gets on with that. Or just little reminders, have you sent voice notes out recently to the old leads? Oh, yeah, right, I'll get on with that. So yeah, we just leave it with her, but just sprinkle in little bits, just overseeing every so often.
Yeah. And when you've obviously got someone dedicated that's doing this for you, how much time is she dedicating to it? I mean, with clubs are probably thinking, well, how long is all of that going to take? Because it sounds like quite a process.
She's assigned at the moment, it's either 3 or 4 hours a day, depending on the day that she's on. So she does that purely for phone calls, and then she goes in there.
She's our dance instructor as well. So while we're building up the dance school, she's working through the day, doing the leads, and then obviously teaching her classes on the night. But we've got like advanced classes that are already scheduled in the timetable. So when she's got that hour on an evening as well, she'll come back to chasing leads then as well. And she does it in them at different times of days. Sometimes she'll do it first in the morning, sometimes it's more like mid-afternoon, and then she'll get them in the evening. So we've got a range of times. But we didn't start off with a full team. We built our school to 250 members, and we had the franchises as well before we had the staff there.
Yeah.
Just meant we were on holiday in Lapland with the kids, and we were on the coach. I was booking people in and doing inquiries.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got off the coach, it was like, right, now it's back to the kids and family time. But then as soon as we were back doing something where I was like, right, we're not actually doing anything now. Okay, it was just constant. I was between us, just always working.
Yeah. So essentially you guys were doing this job before, and getting the similar results?
This is going to be really difficult to answer because back in the day when we opened, we went out leafleting and got 100 inquiries through a leaflet. And
Mm.
Facebook wasn't a thing back then when we started. Obviously, we've had to learn and develop and grow through social media and the different outlets that are out there. To try and compare is quite difficult. We found it easier to grow, but it was easier to access people as well. You know, there
Yeah,
wasn't much out there to go see, whereas now you've got to fight for so much competition on social media.
yeah,
So it's quite difficult to answer.
I truly believe though, like our team are fantastic. We did have, I think we did have better conversions on our stats, but we didn't have as many coming in.
yeah,
But nobody is going to be more passionate and more invested in your business than you.
yeah,
We've got staff members that are very, very close, you know, couldn't ask them to do any more realistic, really good way. But yeah, I think just sometimes we try and say to our team, you know, like, where's their passion? Like really show that passion and that excitement on really simple little things. But that's because it always got me really excited. Like, oh, I've got a booking. Like, yes,
yeah.
celebrate it. Whereas they're just, oh, you know, I've got a booking.
But it's your livelihood, isn't it? And it's not theirs necessarily.
Yep.
Okay, so you've obviously gone through this process of learning. You've got someone in who clearly is quite passionate and is getting the results, and you've passed on that knowledge to that person who is now doing this, which is wonderful. Just, I mean, while we're on the topic, just going a little astray here, and we were talking about this a little beforehand. There might be lots of people on this call that are experiencing certainly what I've experienced with lots of clients that I speak to, that actually getting the leads in at the moment, we've just touched upon that now with leaflet dropping and Facebook. Getting leads in seems to have changed quite a lot over the last 4 years, certainly since COVID. But as we progress to now, it feels like what you used to do 4 years ago that would bring in 200 leads now is only bringing you in 50. Is that something you guys are experiencing?
Absolutely, yeah. There was a theory before that you used to have 7 points of contact before somebody would inquire, so they'd have to see you on Facebook 7 times. And the recent study that I read where it's now 7 hours of contact. So
Seven
that
hours.
and also if you do a 10-second clip, how many times you have to watch that clip before it gets to 7 hours? And that could be a Facebook post, it could be an Instagram reel, it could be in a local fair, in your school hall, or reaching out to community events, etc. Plus all your Facebook stuff. So you just have to be ridiculous on your marketing mix going out everywhere you can, like your TikToks, your Snapchats, your Instagram, Facebook, school visits, fairs, leaflet drops.
It's not just being on the different platforms, it's knowing how to use different platforms as well, because what you put on Instagram should be different. I'm saying this, I don't really do this because we upload to our Facebook and it's the same thing that goes on our Instagram. But I know it should be, we should be spending that time filtering the pictures for Instagram and changing it and everything else. And we don't.
Yeah.
But again, if I needed to, if we were really like, oh, then it's something I might spend my time on, but we're not needing to at the minute. But when we do the marketing, I will do, before my ad goes out, I will put a lot of content out first, which isn't salesy. And it will be relevant to what my ad is then going to be, which then I found helps my ad perform a little bit better. And we're in a really tricky area to market to. And we've always found it. And we've tried marketing companies to come in and to take over our marketing, and they haven't been able to get a better success than what we're doing ourselves. And I think some of that is through learning and knowing your own area. So when the ads do go out, I am always changing up. I'll always have a video. I'll have a really rubbish photo that goes out, which tends to work the best most of the times. I'll have a picture that's just text, and it might be like neon. And what works for one ad, and you think, yes, I've got it right, I'm going to do another ad now, exactly the same, it won't work again. So you've always got to be testing and just trialing different things.
Yeah.
Getting the people in, I think what a lot of people make the mistake, and we've had to really hone this on our franchises as well, is they'll put one piece of content out, like suppose, and go, oh, it's not worked. And it's like, no, you need to put 10 pieces of content out per day, plus a video, plus a live video for a month solid, and then you'll start seeing it. And we've got one of our locations now. I've actually been doing that really well recently. And I had a phone call from them last night. I had a phone call of a week with our franchises, and they were flabbergasted that they had some enrollments tonight. They were like, I just don't know where they're coming from. But have you been putting your content out? Yeah, I've been putting it out every day. There you go.
Yeah.
It magically happened. They're getting
Yeah.
regular enrollments now. We've not put in much out on their adverts because people are just seeing the content and just having that snowball effect of rolling over. It's now getting to understand though that they've done a month of content. That's great. We have to stop now, but then they've got to keep going because that 7 hours might now stop. It might just start there 1 hour in that first month, and it might take 2 or 3 months before they get that 7 hours. It's just being consistent with the actions and putting as much content out as you can. And for me, there's no such thing as bad content. If it's the worst sport in the world, people see it. So what they see it, that's part of their 7 hours. If it's the best content in the world, great. They'll see it, they'll pay more attention to it. But just put it out and learn.
And something that we do as well is we all probably get it. We get people commenting on our posts, saying horrible things. We engage in it.
I love it.
The only time I ever hide or will get rid of them if it's abusive or if they're swearing on our posts, because that doesn't brand at all. So I will remove those. But I know I had an ad out once and I'd written it as a woman about the run up to Christmas and how, you know, the tubs of chocolate were out and I was already nibbling at them, and then I'd start wearing baggy clothes over Christmas, and then I'd get to the new year and be like, right, I need to sort myself out. And this person had commented and saying, you know, it was really offensive to women and we were fat shaming. And I was like, so instead of ignoring that, I engaged in it. And I get competitive. So I think we both do this. We do it until we go, I won, because they stop commenting back or they then backpedal on what they were saying. And this person realized that, because I said, oh, well, as a woman that has written this, I've written it from my point of view, and I've actually not called anybody fat in the post because I wouldn't do that, but I've had a really good feedback from women that are now booking in that have felt the same, and it was like deadly silence after that.
Wow.
Engage in it because it's actually helping your ads as well and your algorithm.
Well, and statistically, it's helping your ads. The more engagement, the more activity, the more it's being seen by other people. So it is. We have exactly the same here. We have all kinds of trolling when you put an advert out. You know, it's disgusting. Martial artists should never dream to make any money from what they've learned over the years. It's impure. So I always just write, so shall I book you in for an intro? They just stop immediately. So yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, so just quickly before we move on to the intro lesson itself, that's incredible. That's really, really great advice. I'm interested in, you've got so much going on. So first of all, how do you manage all of that? Because that's a lot, and I'm sure the people on here are thinking, oh my God, they're doing organic, they're doing ads, they're doing offline, they're doing leaflet drops, they're doing. So what percentage of your marketing is digital and what percentage is offline, kind of leaflet drops, schools,
8
that
to
kind
9
of.
digital, I'd say.
You'd save all the school visits we're doing at the moment and stuff. So again, it's difficult times because like if you take a school visit that we do, we've done a lot of school visits recently where we go to schools for free and teach all our kids and hand out leaflets, but you're there for 8 or 9 hours of the day. How does that compare to
6
a
hours.
Facebook? Oh, sorry, how does that compare to a Facebook ad? So we're probably doing about 1 school a month at the moment.
On average, I think we've probably done 2.
So we're doing 2 schools a month,
7,
plus
8.
the leaflet drops. I'd still say it's a good 70% digital,
Yeah.
at least. But obviously the time spent in schools is like you can do a Facebook ad in an hour. Yeah, I know. But you spend 6 hours in a school, that could be 6 Facebook ads.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, physical time more in locations like that, but it is more digital.
And when you say leaflet drops, that's not always like us or our team going out leafleting. We do packs of 30 leaflets and hand them out to our students and ask them to deliver them as well.
Okay.
So that's an admin task of getting, or sometimes we get our leaders just packing up the leaflets. We put a nice little note in. We've even put like the little tiny bags of Haribos in as like a little leaflet treat for them and ask them to go out. So our new members, they always get a pack of leaflets within the 30 days of them joining, because again, they're excited, aren't they? They're just joining. And then every probably 6 months we'll drop to our all members and get them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell me about that, because that's quite, I've never heard of that before. So you actually use your student base to go out and leaflet drop for you, which is genius. And you incentivize them by.
Sorry, I was going to say, we've even done like days where parents love it because they get to drop their kids off for free for a day. We look after their kids. We take their kids out leafleting and we tell them, we tell the parents this is what we're doing. And then we feed them pizza and put a movie on in the afternoon.
I love that. That's such a good
You get
idea.
like 30 kids leafleting and you, what, 80 quid on Domino's afterwards to feed them all and put a movie on it background on big screen. And crack on parents get with the
Oh,
kids for 3 or 4 hours. They
Yeah.
love it, go out shopping. Kids are happy because for some reason kids love leafleting. It's like a race to go up the driveway so who can do it the fastest. They absolutely love it. And then they come and get pizza and film.
it's a win-win, literally all round a win-win, isn't it?
Yeah.
And do you
So,
know the nice thing is when they're older, and I'm sure they will make lifelong friends and have. But imagine looking back and think, oh my gosh, remember that day we all went out leaflet dropping and we went and did that and we knocked on that person's door and ran away. Like that's actually just creating gorgeous memories as well, isn't it?
we don't charge for that. It's a free day for them. So the parents even love it even more. We don't say, look, we're going to do this for you.
No.
I think they would pay for it, but obviously if we can get 1,000 leaflets out and obviously get some inquiries in, it's worth it for us for 80 quid of Domino's pizzas and having a bit of laugh with some kids.
So worth it. So worth it. I love that. I absolutely love that. And just quickly, schools. You are managing to get into schools. Talk to me about how you got into the schools and what you do with the schools.
So I think it was Christine had the genius idea of,
No, it wasn't. I did. This is from again. This is one of my one golden things that I picked up from somewhere else,
okay.
and then implemented it, and it's worked so well.
So Christine basically did a letter and handed it and put it in a golden envelope and handed it out to the kids, basically saying, your kid, this child trains at Phoenix Martial Arts. We come to your school. We'd like to come and do an enrichment day at your school for free in honor of this child. And the children basically took those letters to school, handed them into their teachers, and then we just got inundated with phone calls and messages from them. I think at one point we booked in, it was just close to 15 schools in a couple of weeks.
Oh,
June
It was
last
ridiculous.
year, when we handed them out, we were booked up to April this year, and I had to just say we need to close our calendar now because we've not even got our calendar out for next year. We don't know what we're going to have on, and we've had to stop it. And we've still got schools contacting us saying, like, when can we get our date? When can we come out?
oh my God. So just say that again. You send letters out.
So a letter saying this child trains at Phoenix Martial Arts. I'm going to paraphrase it. We'd like to come to your school in honor of that child training for us. We'd like to come to your school for free and do an enrichment day or do a tasty day for your school. We'll teach your entire school, 30-minute classes, etc. Contact if you want it. The kids take them in, and when you've got 2 or 3 kids in a class, they get the same letter 2 or 3 times. Then they just start reaching out, phone calls, emails. I've had this letter from them, blah, blah, blah today. I've had this letter from XYZ. I've had the, can I come and book your day in? And it just went
And on the
mad.
front of the envelope, it was addressed to like the PE coordinator.
Right.
And we only did it to the children that were in junior schools and below. But yeah, they all just, kids were excited because they had this letter for their teacher that they'd taken that was in this golden envelope.
And then when you go to schools, each class gets basically a 30 to 45-minute lesson, very basic. You jab crosses, have a few games with them. We'll take the blaze pods or we'll do some line drills. Every child then gets like either a QR code sticker or a leaflet or both. And they take that home at the end of the day and go, I've had an amazing day today. It's been really fun. Can I go do this? And then they just start contacting us and come through.
It's genius, genius. The certificates, one client who I was on a webinar with about 6 months ago was saying that when he does schools, every kid gets a little certificate to take home because it goes straight on the fridge. It's there for the next 12 months.
We used to do that, and then we ended up getting a lot of blockers from because the teachers used to be able to give us the class list of names, obviously not full names, but just first names, and we'd have them all written out with kids' names on. And then that's got harder and harder to actually get from the schools. And I'll be honest, schools are a nightmare.
Yeah.
We've turned up to a school before and just been sat there and class just didn't arrive. And when we've been asked, they were like, oh yeah, they're a bit short staffed today, so this class isn't coming. And it's like, right, thanks for letting us know. They're quite unorganized. They'll give you a timetable and then they'll change it. And so you've just got to be very flexible and roll with it and know that you just go in to have a great day with the kids and give kids that. I think for me, we had a girl that in the school when we did the session, she was selective mutism. And the teachers were surprised she joined in and how inclusive we are with the kids that they think, oh, would never be able to do that. Or kids that were in wheelchairs and we're like, no, we can still do that. Like, let them join in. And then you speak to the teachers and say, I think that would be really good for that child, like for them to go. And the parents sign them up because the parents haven't thought about putting them in activities like that before. Because they think they're to do it.
And it is worth noting though that it's very rare we seem to get a direct inquiry from the leaflet or the QR code that we send out. However, when the Facebook ad comes out and the people are coming in, a lot of them are going, oh yeah, my kid went to go to that school and you came and did the session, which is why I looked at your Facebook page. So that marketing mix leads them to look at an advert or the website that come through, and then a bit later on they come back into it.
Brand awareness.
Yeah, it's just
It's yeah, it's so difficult. And Gerard, bless him, he says to me all the time, Lou, where are all of our leads coming in from? Let's just forget all the rest. Let's just focus on that one thing that the leads are coming in from. And I said, impossible. I cannot tell you where they come from, because they might have come in from that Facebook ad that we did, but it's probably because they watched a couple of webinars. They had an email freebie that we sent them. They're on our mailing list.
Yeah.
They know another instructor that's with us. And finally, that's the thing that's prompted. Now it's the right time.
Yeah.
That's what's prompted them. So all of that organic stuff, you're absolutely right. It all has to happen. It has to happen.
Something I sort of learned last year, the year before maybe, is I was putting an ad out and then no leads were coming in on it. And I was thinking, oh, it's not working, I'm going to turn it off and try again and da. And then 1 month I just thought, no, I'm just going to leave it. Just leave it alone. And it ran, didn't really generate many leads off the actual ad. But at the end of the month, when I looked at what our enrollments were, it was the same as the month where we'd had an ad that had worked. So even though they'd not come from the ad, they'd obviously then either looked and gone, your friend goes there, and they'd come in through a referral, or they just contacted us separately, not on the ad. So don't always assume your ads aren't working either. Just trial it again, test it.
I've been working with a team. It's looking at cost per enrollment at the end of the month,
Yeah.
not cost per lead on a Facebook ad.
Yeah.
If you can work out the difference between the two of those and go, actually, my cost per enrollment is still lower than what it needs to be, or an average, that's great, even if your cost per lead is up on your advert.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And do you guys have ads running continuously? Is there ever a time that you don't have ads running?
Yeah, we haven't got any ads running right now. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, totally. Yeah, we've set up we call it the evergreen ad, so it's been running for nearly a year now, and it just spends £1 a day. So that's all.
Yeah.
Again, just testing it to see if, and I think it was our Wakefield location that's actually
I'm just doing the same as well.
Yeah, that are getting quite good results from that.
Yeah.
Great.
Never turns off, just £1 a day, just a very generic ad, just runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and just
perfect.
Yeah. But then I forget about that because it's just done and running. So at the minute I haven't got any live ads that I've set up specifically like for now. But and it's on my job today, is I'm doing all the content. So I'll get lots of content out. And again, I don't just put the content on our page and leave it. I put money behind it.
Yeah.
It's just on our page. People aren't seeing it. Or it's the people that are already with us that are seeing it, which, yeah, great. But I want the new people to see it. And I'll put £2, £1 a day behind that. Let that run for a little while. And then the ad will come out.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it. I love all of that. That is brilliant. Guys, if you've got any questions here, we have got one from Lack that's just come in. Do you use SMS messaging as part of your communication mix?
Yes.
Yeah, to prospects. Yeah.
Oh, yes, prospects. Yeah, we use it.
Yeah.
Fab. Okay, right. Let's go into the intro lesson. I think we've got enough now about how you generate the leads, how you convert the leads. Let's talk about, they've come in, and we'll just talk about the kids. We won't talk about the adults just yet. So the kids come in, talk me through that, because I know you guys got a really slick process for that. Talk me the experience the moment they walk through the door.
So again,
I feel like we have to go back a little bit, don't we?
Because we like to, the Lack just mentioned about the SMS, so we will text out all information they need before they walk in. So all the prices, all the structure. Christine did in like a little PDF. Is it PDF? JPEG?
Yeah, like a brochure.
A brochure that we will text out to them, as well as physical information written out, so they can read all the information. So they get a phone call beforehand, confirming all the lessons, phone call giving all the information out, text message giving all the information.
The personal one as well.
Yeah, a text message with the PDF on it. They then get a private video message saying, "Hi, Christine, you're doing for your lesson today. Just thought I'd show you around, etc."
Nice.
Automation emails that go out that meet the team, meet the instructor, tour of the academy. This is your first lesson. These are your first moves. This is what you know you're going to do. So before they walk in the door, they've got an idea of what they're going to be doing, where they're going to be doing it, who they're going to be doing it with, how much it's going to cost, how many times a week they need to train, etc. Everything needs to be done before they even walk in our door.
They know like
Wow.
the class timetable, and we're just trying to minimize any objections when they do come to enroll. Oh, we didn't know it was twice a week. Well, yeah, we did, because you've told us that you could do Mondays and Fridays. What's the next objection? So we try that.
Yeah.
We do. But when they come in for the lesson, they get greeted at reception, and again, they know to come straight to reception because they've had.
Sorry, Christine, just back one step. You know, you send them a video.
Yes.
Is that a personalised video for every single one?
Yeah.
It is. Wow. Yeah.
One of our staff does it every day. They know the night before, they'll have a look and see who they've got booked in, and then they will send that personal message.
Now, if you want to cheat, and this is something that I might look at in the future, you have HeyGen, like your AI videos that you could just type a script in. So you can make a video of me or Christina, type in the script and send it out, and it'll talk. It looks AI-ish, but if you're short on time and you don't have the instructors, you use ways and means around it. But look at that, we've got a decent team that we can vary enough people to do a 20-second video. Hi, how are you? I'm coming in today. Just as what you're doing. This is my face. I look forward to seeing you later on. Can't wait to meet you. Bang and send.
Realistically, how many bookings do you have a day? Like, we don't oversubscribe our school every day with bookings. Well, we wouldn't be able to anyway, because we don't get that many, do we? We couldn't flood in like 20 every night. But we do limit each class because we want them to have a really good experience where they're not just a number of, oh, there's 10, 15 kids on trialing it today. We want to learn their names. We want to have that chat with the parents and make sure they really feel welcomed into the school. So they might only be sending 3-4 videos a day, so it doesn't take long to do.
And what if there are, because I know there'll be clients who will say, oh God, no, I could never do a video myself. It's too cringe. I just could never do it. What would your advice be to them?
Do it. Lou, this is from the person that the first time I went live was like, Simon's there ready to film it, and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Was nearly crying, was like, oh, I don't know what to say. I'll be ridiculous. But once you've done that first one, you go, oh, the world didn't end. Okay. And then you do another one. And I used to be like, oh, I'm off into the academy today and I'm going to do a live video. I best put some makeup on and make sure I look all right. Oh, now I just do it anytime and I don't care. Like, I'm here because I've done it that many times now. So you've just got to do it.
And
practice.
You know, what are they trying to work on? If these instructors who don't want to do the videos, are they getting a less short rate? So, you know, the thing that I heard the other day, and again, I'm going to have to paraphrase it, I can never remember it properly, is if you want something so bad, how are you not doing everything possible you can to achieve that? And if that is doing a 20-second video, why are you not doing that? You don't want it bad enough. You're gonna, I can't do a video. You don't want to get these people in bad enough because you're not doing everything you possibly can. If your turn-up rate is perfect, then don't do the video. It's fine. Your system works. But if you are struggling, this is something else you can try. And it's just a personal touch. And we find that personal touch. They go, oh, because they said my name, I know it's personal. It's not just a generic video of, hey, how are you? It's, hey, Luke, how are you doing today? And it's, you know, you can even go, well, it's not raining now. You can mention things that are going on in the world at that point in time so they know it's done specifically that person. It does.
We get really good feedback from it. And I was actually talking to one of the instructors this morning, and she said they've had a little boy in that he isn't really speaking much yet to them. There's a bit of a language barrier, but he can speak English. But because he's been going home and his mum's been showing him the videos of the instructors, when he comes in now and sees her, he's like, oh, he's saying to his mum, oh, that's my friend. That's my instructor. And that's from that first video where she's sent of herself to him, which has helped him come in. She's then worked with him in the class, and then he's seeing just our Facebook posts. So it does really work.
But to answer your original question, when they come in, they come to reception, they get greeted by a reception team. Obviously, we have a meeting at the beginning of every day, so they know who's coming in at what lessons and which instructor is going to take that person. The parents will get offered a drink, a hot drink or a cold drink. They'll get their paper to fill out, so the student analysis form or whatever form you fill out. The child will get taken a little tour of the academy, speak to the instructors, sat down, ask any questions, and then they just go into the mats and start from there.
That's just answered a question that's come in. Let's put, at which point do you get them to do the PAR-Q forms? So you do it as soon as they come in, the parent sits down.
If our lessons is 45 minutes, we'll say your appointment is an hour and 15 minutes. So 15 minutes before your time starts, 45 minutes your class, and then 15 minutes after to have a chat. So
you invite them in earlier than the class start time.
We tell them it so that they can meet the instructor as well, because we do want them. We've found that when the kids come in and bang on the class start time and it's rushed and the parents are like, get shoes off, go on the mats. The kids are like, I don't know where I am, like what's going on?
Yeah.
Why they don't want to do it. It's really hard work. Whereas when they're there 15 minutes before, they're normally in before it starts building up, because our building is not a big place. So it can get quite busy in there, which again is
Yeah.
overwhelming for a child. So they're there before everyone's coming in. They've met the instructor. They know where the toilet is. They know what they're going to be doing. They've had chance to have that little, oh, so what's your favourite dinosaur, or who's your favourite princess, and just chatted about things. They're more likely to go on. And the important thing for us as well is we have a waiver that they sign saying that if anything happens in that class, we've had kids walk in, fall over, dislocate their elbow. That is not on us. Like, we don't,
Yeah.
unless we are doing something that is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they sign that waiver as well, and we don't let anybody on our mats unless they've signed that waiver.
Yeah, so pre-framing was like coming early and stay later. Just again, it takes away that kind of that objection of, oh, I've got to rush off now. Well, you knew you had to stay. We want to talk to you after to see how you find it.
Yeah.
Or coming early so we've got time to answer your questions. Because they'll come in and go, oh, what's this and what's that? And you've got time to sit down and talk and have that personal conversation as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're ensuring that you get that parent time in, that you're sitting and talking to the parent. That gives you time to warm the child up as well, get them used to an environment that's not too hectic because it is intimidating. Fantastic. Okay, then the class starts.
Yep.
Kid gets on the mats. Do you have a set area that they train, or do you pair them up? Do you buddy them up with?
We line our students up in grade order. So the lower belts are at the front, right in front of the instructor that's taking the lesson. And then we also buddy up if it's an older child, we might buddy them up with another child that's quite recently joined and say like, oh, you're going to stand next to them and be their partner today. But we always have an instructor as well that's floating around, that's responsible for those new students, just to check in and make sure they're all right. And it's kids, we do get it where sometimes they do just absolutely cry and really go in themselves. So we've got that spare instructor to be able to deal with that.
Yeah.
And at the time, they are really good. They can then get them going and end up making that child smiling, enjoying the class before they leave.
Yeah.
And for us, a couple of important things are we try and involve the child. So if it's new, we'll obviously introduce them to the class, but then we'll ask them a couple of questions about, what's your favorite thing at school? Who's your favorite parent, etc., that kind of stuff. And when they say, oh, my mum's a favorite parent, if dad brings them, you can have a little bit of banter with the parent as well and try and involve them. How old are you today? How old are you? I'm 10. All right, we're going to do 10 burpees today, or we're going to do 10 press ups because it's in honor of him. And they feel like not the center of attention, but they're involved in the class, and the parent will chuckle because, oh, they're doing this because he's that age, or that's his postcode, so we're doing that, and they'll have a laugh about it. And those little tweaks, those little connections make a big difference too.
And some of our staff are really good at this. Some of our team are still working on getting this. And again, when we were doing it, we always would go back to that parent. Even if I'm teaching the class, I would go back and just drop in, have you seen how well they're doing? Like, look at that kid, but it's genuine. And if they're not doing very well, if they're really like shy and they're really reserved, it's like, don't worry, this is really normal. They're old, but by the end of class, we're going to have them smiling and joining in. And if they've been really naughty, I'd go back and say, again, I know this is really frustrating as a parent, but please let us deal with this, because we're just setting the boundaries with them.
Yeah.
Fine, don't worry. Like, they're not going to get away with this with us. And because it's real, because if you just go and tell a parent their kid's doing great, we're not stupid. We know, don't we? Like, no, they're not. I know. That. Because you're being genuine, it does help build that relationship with the parent as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's awesome. That is really awesome. So, okay, the dreaded, scary sales process.
No sales.
No sales.
We'll go back to what we did before. Yeah, so service, but that parent has had every piece of information before they walk in our door.
Yeah.
They know how much it is. It's on direct debit, how many times a week. If they've walked in, what's to sell at that point in time?
Yeah.
As long as they've had a good class, majority of them, 74%, and we've had a bad month this month, that's where that number comes from, they will enroll because they know everything. There's nothing to sell.
Yeah.
And to the point of our receptionist has got in the past quite lazy of just going, so do you want to sign up then? And they go, yeah, that's great. It's like, no, you still got to turn it nicer than that. You still got to go better than that and have a little bit of conversation. How do you find it? What's this? Did you like that? What do you like about that? What do you think you work on? Can you see the benefits it has, etc.? Great. Is it something you want to move forward with? Yeah, and they crack on. I mean, normal turn up rate to enrollment is in the 90% mark. And
Wow.
a standard month because they've turned up.
Yeah.
You've
And
pre-qualified them to such an extent that they're primed.
they can't say no. What have they got to object about?
Yeah.
I knew everything before I walked in. My kids had an amazing time.
And that goes back to the ad as well, that because I put the questions on the ad, instead of people just going, oh, this looks good and clicking and it automatically filling out all their information, they have to do some work. They have to answer some questions. So again, that gets rid of, not all, but some of the time wasters. We had one lady that we contacted and she said, oh, I must have done it in my sleep. I was on my phone and I must have fallen asleep. And it's like, well, you've answered, you've infilled all your information, but now they've got to answer the questions. Yeah, you don't get that.
Yeah.
We look at it as well as we're providing this service for them. They've inquired, they've come in, they've known everything. Why would they not want to join? That's what we tell ourselves. If we know we've done everything, we're that confident that we will go to them and say, right, you've got 3 options now. So option 1 is the twice per week training. Option 2 is the 3 times a week, or option 4 is the unlimited, which is best for you.
Yeah.
And we've even sort of gone down the route. So if you've got 3 options, you can sign up today, you can go away and think about it. But if you do then come back, then you don't get this discount that we're offering today to you.
Okay.
Joining fee. Or it's not for you.
Yeah.
What would you like to do? And because we do just, and silence is so powerful.
Yes.
What do you like to do? And then you just shut up.
Yeah.
There. It's very rare they go, oh, it's not for my child.
Yeah.
Because if we know it's not right for their child because their child's not right for us, we'll have told them anyway.
Yeah.
People away and we'll say they're not quite ready for us yet. However, we'd love to try them again in 6 months. Or if you can go home and work on that discipline side with them, we can then assist you with that when you fetch them back. But yeah, they've got to be right for our classes.
But like I said, the most powerful tool is the information before they walk in the door, and that's been a big game changer for us. Because
Does that include prices?
Everything, price,
Right.
job lot. The things we don't go into, things like gradings and events and stuff like that. Well, if they ask, we'll give them, but we'll go for the basic information of it's this much per month, it's this much per month on this many classes. This is your enrollment cost. This is your uniforms, all included in that. Literally everything. So even if you have a team member that is either weak or scared of sales, they don't have to do that. It's all done before they walk. And again, if they don't come in, that saves an hour of teaching that child and messing around because they're not going to.
Absolutely.
So I'd rather waste the time in that phone call inquiry area than on the mat time when we can give better service to other children that want it and deserve it.
And you've got to really believe in yourself. If you're into it, nervous and unsure, they pick up on your body language there, and then that makes them feel, well, why are you not sure about what you're trying? You went to a car salesman and he went, well, I think the MOT is okay on this. You know, it might just scrape through. I'm not buying that car.
No.
Going, oh, this is the safest car for children. Like, you don't want to be in anything other than this. You're going to believe them and be like, because they're confident in their product.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, to say that you still get 70%, given that you essentially expose everything about the club, which in times gone by has always been a big no-no, right? So do not put your price anywhere. Do not tell them everything. Get them through the door, then they'll see it all, then they'll understand the value. But you know what? People do want a bit more information. You can get information about anything now. It's at your fingertips. If someone's holding information back, it actually probably makes you a little bit skeptical.
And we're not priced for everyone.
Yeah.
There's cheaper places around. There's actually one like
2
doors down from us that's cheaper than us. But we are in the right price range for us and for the people we want. And again, when we first started, we'd take anybody, and we had, it's awful, but we had the families that really, like, in reception, the whole reception would smell. The kids were weeing all over the bathroom every day. We've outpriced ourselves from those students now.
It's the north for you.
Yeah. But yeah, we've outpriced ourselves from them because we actually go in, that doesn't fit our values and brand. We don't want that.
Yeah.
We want, and people will inquire and say, oh, it's too expensive. And I'm like, oh, okay, not a problem. What were you expecting to pay? Oh, £3 a session. Not a problem. That's not us.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I don't explain our prices. If somebody asks why is it that much, that's the price.
It is. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, that in itself explains, when you talk about this and you explain this whole journey, and we haven't even got time to talk about your low attrition, unfortunately, but that is probably one of the biggest reasons for that very, very, the opposite, the very, very high retention, that you've already exposed everything. They know everything. The price is right for them. Nothing's a surprise. They get in. The kid loved it. That's it. Now you're just doing the job that they already knew about,
Yeah.
And
and
then
and,
yeah,
and you've taken out, you've pre-qualified the ones that it's not right for. So them not being on the mats makes it more likely that all the ones on the mats are going to stay longer because they're probably, you
and
know,
like we found out by doing that again, you can have some of the, I don't want to say the lower staff members, the ones that are less experienced, still doing the enrollments or the sales process, you call it, because they don't have to sell anything. They just have to fill out the paperwork, do the EDD, and then crack on and just have a nice conversation and have a chat. Not
yeah,
so. Whereas if you don't do the information first, it's your top salesman getting them in at the beginning and then pushing them over the line at the end as well. And
yeah,
you normally that's the instructor that's trying to sell it all, who wants to wear multiple hats. Whereas this way,
yeah,
we take that out of the equation.
And I think
yeah,
as well, you attract people like you. So Simon was on a phone call yesterday trying to upgrade my phone, and they'd gone through all the prices, and then the guy said, so this is the offer if you move your broadband to us. Well, he lost us right there because we were like, no, we're not moving our broadband to you because we're already set with our broadband. It's through the business, it's separate,
yeah,
else. And we were like, you've just lost our business there.
yeah,
I hate being sold to like that. So I'm
yes.
not going to sell to other people like that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think that touches upon, don't try and be something that you're not.
Yeah.
If you are what you are and your club is what it is, it's there to attract other people that will benefit from that exact type of club. It doesn't have to be everything for everyone.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
And it's knowing that that's okay. And it's holding to your values. Like
Yeah,
I've been in other schools where they will walk on the mats with the shoes on. Fine, that's your mats. You do whatever you want. They'll swear on the mats. Whatever you want to do, that's your environment, that's your culture.
Your mentality.
yeah,
That's not ours. So we've had
yes,
children in that will swear and will really misbehave in ways, and we'll just say it's not accept. Like we'll remove them from the mats because that is not our values and not
yeah,
we're
yeah,
not the right place.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. And I'm going back to the sales thing as well. I think you summed it up perfectly. You don't do sales. And I say this to clients, they say, oh God, I get so nervous at the end. I've got to go and talk to them. And I said, if if a doctor suddenly came out tomorrow and they said, right, it's been through the labs, we spent 10 years testing this, we've got this pill. And if you give it to your child, they're going to be fit, healthy, confident, face anything, ready for life, make loads of friends, prep more for career because they've learned, they've gone through a belt system and they know the discipline. I said, and it costs £10,000. Wouldn't most parents go, oh, shit, I definitely want that for my kid. I definitely want it. And that's what you're giving them for far less than £10,000. It's not a sale.
Yeah.
It's just not a sale. Um, right. I've basically gone off on a tangent because I got so involved in that conversation. That was so in depth. I think so many, as I say, golden nuggets have come out of that. Got one question from Anya Trower here. So, going back to the phones and the videos, do your staff use their personal phones to send the messages, or do you provide work phones?
Find work
Aye.
phones.
We
Provide work phones.
we have loads of phones. So we have one that is a set photo phone that they use in classes. We have a separate sign-in phone, and then we have a customer service lady and our sort of like manager that both have their own, and lead gen that have work phones as well. So it's our customer service lady who is one of the instructors that does the videos that she sends out to people.
Perfect. Brilliant. Okay, we're just going to go on to reflections because I think we've covered everything we need to recover. So just really, really quickly, what's something that you used to do that you will never do again?
We used to do private one-to-ones. So the only way you could come into a class with us is to do a private one-to-one first, then do a class. I toyed with this thinking, would I do it again? Wouldn't I? And I think the reason I wouldn't now is because we just don't have the facility and the time to do it. Our classes start at 4 o'clock. So they'd have to be coming in school hours to come and do this one-to-one. So it worked for us right at the beginning, and it was a really good way of building a really strong relationship with people. And I think it did help our attrition as well back then, because you'd really got to know them. However, for us now, it's just not something I would go back to. It took so much time to get bookings and enrollments doing it that way.
Interesting. I think that was quite an Americanism that came over at one point from
For me, I think it's doing everything manually. I think automations and having systems in place for stuff has been massive. Because I think when we first started, I don't know if automations were about or if we didn't know about them. But having information going out, like the amount of emails and automations we've got, is just ridiculous. My automation list goes for 20 years, I think it is. It's ridiculous. It just goes on forever. But all that stuff, like the day after sign up, they get the safeguard information sent out because you got to dish that out, etc. A welcome pack, etc. Like all that gets sent out via automation, whereas we used to do it all manually and physically. So I'd never go back to that again. I'd go back to maintain that.
Really little things as well. And again, we're adding to this all the time. So for sparring, we realised, do you know what? A lot of our people are buying sparring kits and are then coming in and don't know how to put it on, and they're not really sure of what to do. So we did a video recording of our instructor putting the sparring kit on. That goes out to them as soon as they buy a sparring kit. It's triggered, like we tag it, don't we? It's triggered then to send them an email, and then it also takes them through. It's light contact. If you are with somebody and they're hitting you too hard, you absolutely should say, "This is too hard for me. Please, can you lower it down a little bit?"
The basic rules and basic norms.
And then what techniques are allowed and things like that. So it's just all covered, so we know that everybody has had that information.
Brilliant. That's great advice. If you were starting again tomorrow, no, do you know what? We'll forget that one because you've pretty much just said it. Okay. What advice would you give a school owner who says, "I'm just not good at that stuff and I just don't have time"?
There's two things I've got here thinking about it. One is the 100-hour rule, where we talked about this before, and it's a theory of if you spend 100 hours in a year, you are 95% better than the rest of the world's population. And that only works at 18 minutes per day. And the theory is based on, if you do it on a foreign language or learn how to play an instrument, or if you want to just learn how to do kind of automations or Facebook marketing at 18 minutes a day, but consistently throughout the year, will put you in better than the top 95% of the world's population. The second thing I've got is there's a story about a professor in America, and he's a pottery guy in a pottery class, and he split the class into two halves. And in one half, he said, "I want you to go away. You've got the semester or the break. You make me one pot. I want you to make the perfect pot, just one pot. So I want you to bring in nothing else but one pot, but make it as perfect as you can. If it's rubbish, start again. For the second half, make me as many pots as you can. I don't care about the quality. I just want you to make as many as you physically and possibly can in that 6 months that you break." Now, the ones that did the one pot made a decent pot, but the ones that made multiple not only made better quality pots than the one that made one, but also made a lot more better quality by doing sheer volume, just putting crap out. So when I talk about content, just put crap content out, because eventually you'll get better and tweak it, and eventually put more better quality content out than you would if you try and get that one perfect piece.
Just repetition, isn't it? Like in class, we practice our jobs over and over and over again to get good at them. It's the same principle.
Everyone tries to get that one perfect piece of content, but just put it out, and eventually it'll be better, and you'll have more of it.
And no one knows what that perfect piece of content is. If we did, we'd all be rich.
Yeah. And then mine is just, that's not an excuse, because now has never been an easier time to learn and to find out how to do something. I am not a techie person, and Facebook ads absolutely blew my mind, but I went on seminars and went on trainings, but then it's ChatGPT. Did it the other day. WhatsApp had just vanished off my Facebook, and ChatGPT walked me through the steps, and then it actually turned out that Meta had just decided just to take WhatsApp off ours, and there was nothing I could do about it, and then it just reappeared again like a day later.
Wow.
you can YouTube, you can use the communities, and I see it on the Nest community group. Somebody actually asked about getting into schools.
Yeah.
And I'd commented on it, and a few other people had commented. And then somebody else messaged me privately and then said, could I have that letter that you'd sent out to the schools? Yeah, of course you can. We're a community.
Yes.
We'll share whatever help people need to help you grow and better yourselves.
Yeah. So learn how to do it. Find the time, some way or another. Difficult as a business owner, but you just got to do it.
Consistent action. Again, if you want to be a business owner, you've got to take consistent action. You can't claim to be a business owner if your business is going to go bust because you're not taking action every daily basis.
Work o'clock in the afternoon until 10 o'clock on a night, Like when you are building your school, we worked.
Stupid.
I used to work a 40-hour job somewhere else, then go to the club afterwards, and we had 2 more children. I was killing myself, but we did it for that 10-month period, and then when I can give up my job now, and then we can just focus on this, and then for about 7 years, we absolutely killed ourselves just in to build it. And again, if the information out there now, we wouldn't have needed 7 years because there's so much more out there, so much more help. We didn't have Nest when we first started. We actually got ripped off, didn't we, when we were in first? But that could have saved us so much time. And then we built this team, and then we've been able to go, okay, I'm off on holiday.
There's just there's too much to say. The amount of systems we're putting into place, and we have systems to check that systems have been done, and then we have systems to check that those systems are checking off those systems. It's just, but it's building from the ground up. We put something in place. So the delegation and follow up, put something in place, find something to follow that up, find something to make sure that gets done, and it all gets reported back to us by the team coming through. So we haven't got enough time to go through everything, but
I think the biggest thing, though, for me is like when we first started building a team, we were so used to just working, us two, that it was like, why has that not just been done? Why is it not done the way we want to do it? Personal development. We've spent a lot of time working on ourselves.
You do, yeah.
And that really pays off because now we have got a really good team. They're not perfect and we're not perfect. And we will say to our team, like, this is our failing. Because they'll go, I'm really sorry I've not done this. And we'll go, no, we've not told you this.
Yeah.
Actually, thank you for fetching this to us because now we can put something in place for that. And example this last week, wasn't it? It was about lost property. One of the staff came and said, what's our actual policy with lost property? And we were like, oh, we've just got a tub that it goes in, and then every so often we put it on Facebook and say it's getting thrown if you've not come. And she went, but can people take that? Like, could other staff members take that property if it's not been collected? And then it just opened up this whole like, no, actually, no, we're not okay with that, because if somebody's left a watch and then a student comes in 6 months later and goes, oh, I had a watch like that and it went missing, doesn't fit our values. So put now this policy in place so all our team know this is what's going on. We nearly 17 years have been open and we've never even thought about that. Always
tweaking over time. I'm just having a quick look at the so Wayne Bedella's for £2 only for a Facebook ad. Did I get that right? I think that's your evergreen one, isn't it, where it's £1 a day?
That or content. So we put our content out and I put £2 on it, and that's the non-sales there, just showing off whatever my ad is working towards. I did an ad once about ADHD, so I had loads of content beforehand saying why martial arts is good for children with ADHD and what are the benefits of training when you've got ADHD, and wasn't salesy at all.
It's your pictures or your video clips or your live videos that are boosted pretty much. They're before an advert goes live.
So it's your organic that is aligned to the ad and supports it, but you put £2 behind it. Brilliant. Lack has put, I'd be grateful for a copy of that school letter too. Lack, I think
not a problem, £1,000 a letter, it's all yours.
Just buy me on Christine Walker on Facebook, drop me a message over and I'll bring it over to you, and then you can tweak it to make it your own.
That's very kind, very kind. And I think that's fair to say you guys are quite active on the community, on the Nest community. So if you're not on the Facebook community, get on there. Everyone is very open, honest, and humble. You can ask anything, and like the guys say, there's nothing that you ask that someone else hasn't asked at some time, and someone will know the answer. So utilize that.
Yeah. No stupid questions, because I know when we first started learning Facebook, and I was like, what's this? And oh, I don't know, and I daren't ask, and then you ask and people go, oh, you're right, I didn't know what this is either, and can you help? And so just ask anything, because it's the only way you're going to learn.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, listen, well, lack. No, it's on Facebook, Lack. So find Christine Walker on Facebook. You'll find her in the community group, in the Nest Facebook community group. Um, guys, listen, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I have learned so much from that conversation, and I had all these questions, and I genuinely
We've not touched
have.
them.
We haven't, have we? We just ended up freestyling it a little bit, but even so, I think we got so many 1 points or golden nuggets that hopefully other people have picked on it. It honestly has been fantastic. This
To
will
be
all be
fair,
recorded.
if people want to drop a message after the follow on, we're quite happy and open. So find us on Facebook, drop a message over. If you want to carry on any conversations or have a call or anything like that, we're quite happy to do that stuff as well. So yeah, I know
Oh,
there's a lot more that we'd wanted to put into there. You wanted to ask, but yeah, we're quite happy to carry it on outside.
brilliant. That's really, really kind. Um, And yeah, I mean, it is incredible. And learning from, I love bringing people on these because you're learning from people who are doing it. They're actually on the mats doing it. They've learned over time. They've made the mistakes. And I think that's what you guys are saying. Just try it because even if it fails, you've learned and you know not to do it again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, listen, thank you for giving up your time. Thank you for everyone who's joined us today, giving up your time. This will be recorded and posted. Everyone on here, we've got the next face-to-face meeting, which is going to be in Loughborough. It's a smaller workshop event, maximum of 30 people. We've got 18 people booked on so far. So if you
Where
do
to
want
at
to
then?
get, you already booked on?
Yeah, we're booked on, yeah.
Perfect.
Again,
Just come there. Just come
we,
and see these guys.
we might pick something up there. So we might not learn anything. We might pick up one thing, but you've got to put yourself out there to find if you know stuff, if you don't, and we'd like to do that.
I've never been to anything when I've not picked up one thing. And I've been to some where, to be honest, I've left early because I was like, oh, but I still came away with one thing.
Yeah.
So go
Yeah.
to these events.
Yeah, absolutely. Make the most of them. They're free. You get free lunch. This one's at Loughborough University, and I mean, whether you're into this or not, it's going to be a very gourmet, healthy. They're even doing health shots, like juice shots.
Oh, not the ginger
Um,
stuff, is it?
I don't know. I didn't ask them specifics about the shots.
Yeah. No, I think I've been there with Dave. With Dave Holland, he's done a few things down there before, so I've been down there.
Oh,
Same
okay.
place. I don't know if it's the same place or not, but I think it was Loughborough.
This is at the Elite Athletes Centre.
That's it then. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good venue. So 14th of March, if you haven't already, book on. It's going to be a wonderful event. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. That was incredibly helpful. And I thank you very, very, very much. I'm going to end this. It will end the whole thing. So I'll speak to you guys very soon.
Right.
No worries.
Take care. All right. See you
Thanks,
later. Bye, everybody.
everyone. Bye bye.